Good morning, everybody. I'm Jason,
I'm Jackie.
and we are,
The Flames.
yes, we're back for another edition of Keep the Flame Alive. Today, we have a brand new topic. So, our topic this week is we're going to reflect on couples who have inspired us most and lessons their relationships have taught us. From wisdom passed down to examples we've witnessed firsthand. These influences have shaped how we approach love and commitment in our own marriage. Join us as we share stories, insights, and the ways we hope to carry those lessons forward. That's the theme for the day.
Okay, let's do
Ready?
it. I'm ready.
Well, first, we're back. We were gone. We went on vacation. We don't go on vacation a whole lot, but we went to Idaho and visited my brother, and we celebrated their 25th anniversary. And we also got to witness their vow renewal, which will be part of this conversation a little bit, at least for me, because I thought that was very inspiring and it was beautiful and it was just an awesome event. But it was also a great weekend for our whole family just to spend time together. So anyway, any thoughts before we start? Or you want to go to the first question?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. By the way, guys, if you are watching live or you're watching this later, you can ask questions and we will answer at any time. So drop those questions in the comments and do us a favor. Share the video, go to Master Motivation Podcast on YouTube and subscribe. But our first question is, who are some of the couples that we've looked up to over the years and what stood out about their relationship? Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Go ahead.
So first thing is, I want to say, I think no matter what, whether we're looking at other couples or we're looking at other people in life, you learn two things. You either learn what to do or what not to do. And so some of the inspiration that we might talk about may be things that we don't want to do or we didn't want to do. And then maybe we learned that we thought we didn't want to do it. And maybe we were wrong.
I
So
can't talk about the people I don't want to copy because they didn't do well.
you don't have to say names.
Oh.
But anyway. Okay, so couples right out of the gate, it's obvious, I think, for anyone that the first people that you look to for an example of marriage is your parents. So looking at my parents and looking at your parents is very distinct, different culture altogether, really, because your parents were from the East Coast, my parents out here in the West Coast, totally different lifestyles, totally different people, in my opinion, very similar values in a lot of ways, but just different upbringing. So,
but still married, both of them.
but still married. So my parents, if I am 51, my parents have been married almost 53 years, I think, 52. At least one more year than I've been alive. So, and your parents have been married how long?
38, 58 plus 5, 63 years.
63
Last
years.
week,
That's
63
a long
years.
time.
Yeah.
And, growing up, almost every one of my friends' parents ended up in divorce. And I think we were really, really fortunate to grow up in families where our parents stuck together. Now, there were times that I didn't think that my parents would stick together, and I did not think that it was going to last. But, as I look back now, the struggles are sometimes what make us stronger. And so, just again, looking at my parents, still being together all this time, I feel like I grew up in a loving home. I've talked about, there was lots of hugs and kisses and physical affection that was good, but that was not how you grew up. You did not have that.
We need to touch each other to prove that we're family. We didn't touch, but I'm okay now. I'll touch a little bit now, but we didn't touch and
touch a lot
and do all of that fuzzy stuff, but that's okay. But I do remember, like, you don't know what you don't know. And like, I remember all my friends' parents were getting divorced and they would talk about, I'm at my dad's this weekend, I'm at my mom's this weekend. And I was like, oh, they have 2 houses and 2 closets and all the things. And
you were thinking they had 2 sets of clothes.
Yeah. And I was thinking, how cool. I remember saying, "Oh, I hope my parents get a divorce." Just like I used to beg for braces, and my parents were like, "You don't need braces." But I want braces. Everyone's getting braces. So like silly the things you don't understand as a child, but I remember that.
You wanted your parents to get divorced?
No, I didn't want
To
them to have like heartache, but I would have loved to like
have two houses to go to?
yeah, like everybody just no, just because you don't know. Like you
Yeah.
hear about it, and my dad's picking me up today, and then we're gonna go to dinner because the divorced dads are always taking their kids out to dinner, and I don't know.
Well, so I mean, those are definitely obviously the first couples that we look at that influence us, inspire us, teach us about, working things out, sticking it out. Because both of our families had gone through hard times, if you will. Definitely grew up, middle working class. So your dad was a plumber. My dad was in construction, so that I related to right away. But they were both hardworking men. Your mom worked. My mom did not work. She stayed home and took care of us. That was interesting to see because we had to decide how we were going to do it. Initially, it was going to be more like your parents, where we both worked, and that's just the way it was. And then we made the decision that after Maddie was born, that you weren't going back to work, which we did not anticipate. That was never,
No.
never the plan. But we had two totally different experiences to draw from. We thought we were going one way, and we ended up going another way, and it's worked out. I know I'm shaking the table. It worked out great for us. Fortunately, we were there to both be there, for our kids for all their activities.
Yeah.
Looking back, in my house, my parents are both very passionate, right? So when they feel a certain way, um, you definitely know how they feel, and it was pretty much out in the open, the fighting or the arguing that we saw. But in the end, I mean, they're still together, worked it out. You and I probably have not been as vocal or out loud. I don't know where I mean, your parents now kind of
In
sometimes.
front of us, like
Yeah.
they really never did before in front of us like that. No, and I don't think we ever did that either. Like you don't want to make your problems your kids' problems, or you try not to. Everybody has a weakness moment, or sometimes your husband just really makes you frustrated. But
Not me.
no, I'm talking about other people. Sometimes
Not
I
me.
hear, I don't know, um, but yeah, let's look at. So who do we look up to? Like, what's one of? Give me one.
Get
I have a couple.
well,
They're gonna take mine. I
I
know.
know. I mean, I'm pretty inspired after this weekend.
I knew you were gonna.
Totally honest. Watching Justin and Jennifer renew their vows and just listening to their vows, listening to their vows after 25 years versus when they were
Kids.
just babies. I mean, like we all were when we first got married, but they were younger than us, and they only got married a year after us, right? And so, but they're truly inspiring to me because they are really a true example of putting God first in their marriage and being faithful and trusting in the Lord when things are good or when things are bad, and being grateful and giving thanks to God when things are good. Um, they've made a huge life change moving from California to Idaho. That's not easy. That
No.
would not be easy for us to do. I don't think that's easy for any family to kind of uproot after being in the same state for so long. But they've always inspired me because they have a really good friendship first, and they love spending time together. It's
And they
pretty
take care of
obvious.
each other. Jennifer's always taken pride in taking care of Justin. She's made him lunch every day of his working life, ever, and really truly wants to take care of him. And Justin too. Justin's very protective of her and
Hmm.
good to her, and and they're honest with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, real quick, I know Maddie's watching. Maddie's upstairs watching. Vanessa is watching. Hi, Vanessa. And John Hackelman. What's up, sir? How are you? Thank you so much. And he says, a great family. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. You and Heather. Awesome, awesome couple. I just love having friends that have a strong marriage, and I just love learning from them how things work for them. It doesn't always mean that it's going to work for us, but people that like to spend time together. I know Vanessa and Dan like to spend a lot of time together. They're going out and doing stuff.
Well, they
Uh,
promote, they are so good about prioritizing date night and friend time and just them time, but still, bringing in, they have a daughter and they bring in time with her and spend time with her. So that is so hard to do and so important, right? Like
and John and Heather, always going on. You guys go on your road trips, come up
hikes.
here, go on your hikes, and you guys are spending time together. You guys have done some podcasts together
I
as
miss
well.
those.
So yeah, absolutely. So
So I have
go
one.
ahead. Who's your other one?
So I have another one that is, and I was gonna say Justin Jennifer, but I knew you were gonna steal it. I knew it.
Mhm.
Mike and Tanya, I
Mike
think.
and Tanya. Those are
Because
like
our
our
friend
best
Mike and
friends.
Tanya, he's a little bit of a handful and we love him for it. No, but they're such a good couple and they're so respectful of each other. That's like the number one thing I see in them is they're very respectful of each other and they're both super sweet, super smart people um they're so good about giving each other space and giving of themselves to each other as well. So
Well, and I mean, if there's probably one couple that we spend a little more time with than others, and a couple that we will always close down the restaurant if we go out to dinner, just having conversations with them. So yeah, definitely. Mike and Tanya, super inspiring. Danny, what's up, buddy? Danny's watching. Danny is newly married,
my
and
favorite wedding that we've been to together because we never get to go to a Catholic wedding.
Mhm.
And I was just holding back tears the whole time, thinking of our wedding at that wedding. It was just beautiful and it was not over. You did.
I did.
It was
So
not, it was not overdone. It was just, it was very elegant, very classy, very just all about their love and their marriage. I say this all the time. It's more about their marriage than it was about their wedding. And the wedding was beautiful, not taking anything away from that, but it was just easy.
hmm And again, another couple that I'm proud to know puts God first in their marriage, and I think that that's so important. And um, Danny, if you guys don't know, Danny's a really good friend of mine. He's a youth pastor at our church and very involved. But he's someone that has brought out that so much more in me. But just watching him, even as a younger man and as a younger married couple, it's very inspiring to see that they truly love each other. They love spending time together. They love being with each other. The level of respect that they have for each other. I think that those are all really admirable things in anyone's marriage when you can be friends and you enjoy being together and you respect one another and you help make each other better.
Yeah.
And that I think that defines our marriage is that we make each other better, right? I mean, there's no one else in my life that I would rather be with.
Stop.
And through all the
Yeah.
struggles and all the things that it took to get here, we wake up every morning and just look at each other and we're like, how are we so blessed to have this life where we get to wake up and go do what we love to do, and we get to spend it together. So pretty amazing. Mwah,
Mhm.
mwah. Well, we're getting a little sappy over here, but we're
Mhm.
talking about marriage. But hey, let's get into the second question. And guys, you're watching live. I know you're out there. I see all 11 of you and tons of comments so far. Let us know if you have questions about marriage, about our marriage. We are very honest and transparent and want to share with you or share with anybody that may be watching. So please drop those questions.
You're
But
looking at different questions than I'm looking at. I want you to know that.
oh yeah, that was a couple times ago.
I'll do this. What specific lessons or habits have you taken from those couples and applied it in your marriage?
So we
Ooh.
we listed a lot of those, right? I mean, right out of the gate, you're talking about Vanessa and Dan making date nights a priority.
Yeah.
We date every day. I mean, I really think like we meet for lunch sometimes, we go out for a movie. Hey, I'm done doing this. Let's meet over here. I mean, even tonight we're going to the Citizens Academy, and that's like date night, like making dating a priority.
Yeah.
I think that that's something that I learned from, or that I admire in other couples that I definitely apply in our marriage. What would you say?
Yeah, I'm
What do you got?
thinking like specific things taken from those couples and applied in your own marriage. I try actually following Jennifer's lead. I tried to, and specifically because Jennifer's always talked about, I make Justin lunch every day. And I used to be like, oh my gosh, I don't make lunch for myself every day. But like, I try to make sure you have dinner now when you have a long day. Like, there's certain nights that I know it's hard because the kids are older and no one's ever home to eat a full dinner, but I try to make dinner, and I know you try to make me breakfast. So
Pancakes.
pancakes,
I'm a good
protein
pancake
pancake.
maker.
You're a great protein pancake person. So yeah, I try to do little things like that. Those are like a love language and not necessarily my love language because I'm not a very good cook, but I try.
You are good at baking.
I'm such a good
Very good at baking.
Yes.
Well, so I'll go back to my parents, and one thing, one lesson or habit that I've taken from my dad is he is literally the hardest working person I know. And he has always taken care of my mom. He has always taken care of us and my brothers. I never knew I mean, if I knew then what I know now, I would have told him more how much I appreciated how hard he worked, because I am telling him now. I'll tell him today. I talk to my dad now more than I've ever talked to him in probably my entire life. Um, but watching him, go to work in the morning, come home at night, and realizing that he did it so that we could have all that we have. And that's one of the things that I try to do. I try to wake up every morning and go do what I do so that I can take care of you and take care of the kids and provide everything, not only that they need, not everything they need, but also everything they want. Like I want to give you all the things that you want. So I definitely have always admired that in my dad and tried to bring that to our relationship and our marriage, and to be a hard worker and a provider.
Have you ever received advice from another couple that changed the way you approached your relationship? Ooh,
Hmm.
we learned early on, and you're really good about this, and I am not. Don't go to sleep angry.
Hmm. Well, and if we go, Maddie says, I want a new dog. Can I have?
Same.
No. Um, we talked a lot about our going to the retreat prior to getting married. We got married in the Catholic Church. I wasn't Catholic at that time, but we made a promise that we were going to go to that retreat and learn more about ourselves, and make a deeper connection, not only with each other, but with God, and with, learning what our shared values, beliefs. And I think that that was probably the best thing that we ever did. And we received a lot of advice then, and through some pre-marriage counseling too, like just if you're gonna argue, like, hold hands, because how hard is it to really get mad and angry when you're looking at the person that you love and you're holding hands?
It's like putting your kids in that giant timeout t-shirt that you see, and they're sitting on the steps and they want to
do you
punch each other.
do you remember that I made Maddie and Mason were fighting so bad one day, and they were really little. They were fighting so bad. I said, that's it. Sit on the steps and you both have to hold hands. And they're like, I don't want to. And they did. And like within 5 minutes, they were laughing
Giggling.
and giggling and goofing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did do that. I know you did. So anyway, but that was some good advice. There's a lot of, be respectful of each other's opinions, listen.
Don't make faces. That's a big one. Like, don't roll your eyes at your spouse. It's always a big precursor to something bigger.
But there's also a lot of advice, and maybe not as much about, marriage, but having kids. How much advice do we get about having kids, and when you get married or when you have kids, and just all of that advice. There's a lot of bad advice and things that, like, we tried to see it through, but like just didn't make sense for us. And so the things that really did make sense and the things that we really adopted were the things were, learning how to fight fair. And I think that we have a podcast that'll come up that will talk about fighting fair and
Okay.
and working through, being able to work through the struggle. We had been dating for 6.5 years prior to being married, and we never lived together. Probably only, you know, spent the night together like a handful of times, like, and most of the time in a different room. Like I slept on your parents' couch one time's downstairs. Um, we were pretty in tune to who we were, but that was who we were then.
Yeah.
And then as years went on, we just kind of grew together. And I don't know, you just hear little bits of advice that, oh wow, let's try that, but I can't think of anything that like really, really stands out that made me go, oh, that was a game changer for us.
Yeah, I mean, we try things and we think about things and we hear, just and now there's like memes of every bit of advice ever, right? Like, uh, don't mind my messy house. I'm busy making memories. You still need to clean your house. We still have a very tidy house and we still make memories. So just little things like that, like not everything works for everybody, to be honest. So
And that's the thing. Like people can give us advice and it's not always going to work for us. And we can give everybody out there advice and it just might not be you. And I think that it's important to know each other and to truly communicate and be flexible.
yeah,
Being flexible is super key because like there were definitely some things that were part of me that I held on pretty tight, and it caused some issues. I mean, one was like when we first met, I was smoking, and you absolutely hated smoking, and like it was just a bad habit for me, and but like that wasn't important to me. Like I'm not gonna hang on to that if it's gonna
yeah.
cause, issue with us.
Imagine your body having that now, by the way. Could you
Terrible.
imagine? Your body could never handle it now.
I can do it.
I had no bad habits. I even went from my parents' house to living with you, and right, I was right
You
out the
you have
gate.
you have a bit of a shopping habit, just a bit, but that's okay. We can deal with that. I have a negative shopping habit,
Yeah.
so you have a
What's our next
positive shopping habit. Oh, we want to change subjects? Okay. All right. Well, this is the one. No, it's not the one because we have one more after this. How do you balance learning from other couples while still creating your own unique path in marriage? Well, we skipped ahead and kind of answered that already, right? I mean, we we see what works for other couples. That's not always going to work for us. People learn from us and take from us. Maybe it works for them, maybe it doesn't. Um,
Shania, it did not last long.
yeah, it didn't. No, I grew up in a family of smoke. My whole family smoked, and it was just like the thing to do. And yeah, like when I was how old was Maddie? Or how old was I when Maddie was born?
I don't know,
26?
8.
Okay. I don't think I've ever picked up a cigarette since because when Maddie was born, I was like, never ever. But like, my teenage years, that was the dumb years. But anyway,
Super dumb years. Yeah,
yeah,
so
not proud of it,
we
but
have our own unique. Yeah. No, he was born in 74, Maddie. Oh yeah, because he hadn't had a birthday yet. Good point. Okay, so if our final question is our final question.
the final question, the password is.
If another couple looked to you for guidance today, what lesson from your journey, and from those who inspired you would you share? Like a lesson.
We pre-read these questions and we answer all the questions like
know.
out of order.
Right.
But I'll say it again. If a couple look to me for guidance and advice, I would say number one, you have to know who you are in any relationship. You have to know who you are, because if you try to be something that someone else wants and you're not being authentic, they're not really falling in love with you. They're falling in love with what they want you to be.
Right.
I think that's really important. Um, I think the other thing is, in a relationship, I think that you have to have God in the center of your marriage. I'm very proud of the fact that you drew me closer, and it was merely going to mass. It wasn't converting me, getting me to do it was just, we're just going to go to mass. And if you don't go to church at all now, go and just listen. Find a church where you can go and just listen. You don't have to ask any questions yet. You don't have to try to debate it. Just listen. And I think when you start to open your heart to that, that will just change you. And then you'll really know who you are, and that person can or will be able to love you more authentically. Like I said, if you're trying to be someone, because this happens a lot in couples, especially young couples, you're trying to impress the other person. You're trying to show them what they want. You're trying to give them what they want, but the whole time you're dying inside because it's not who you are. And I don't think that I've ever had to feel that way, where I had to be a certain way for you to like me or love me.
Yeah, I
So,
think I think about the old thing you always see your first date. A woman always orders a salad on her first date, and then then you start to loosen up, and you're like by the third date you're having angel hair, and because God forbid we be seen not eating a salad, but
we had chips and salsa on our first date.
we did. Well, I'm not a salad person, so sadly. But I think it also, to your point, that yes, be your true self and be honest. But I think you also have to drop the ego a little bit and let people let 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 yourself be a little bit more vulnerable
Mhm.
and honest and true. And until you do that and you really drop your ego, because listen, ego will destroy a person as fast as it will a couple. So I think that's really great advice, is to just be authentic and honest and true.
Mhm. Yep.
It's important.
Yeah, being and for men, it's really hard
Yeah.
for a man to be vulnerable and let you see those weaknesses,
Which aren't
those
really
struggles.
weaknesses either, right? A softer
No, but
side isn't a weakness, but
no.
it is perceived
Right.
that way.
But I think that, yeah, vulnerability really important. But honesty, respect, sharing the same, views and values. Um, for us, that was something that came over time. It wasn't immediate. I was not Catholic. I was not I really had a different personality even as a 20-year-old than I do now. Life changes you. So, yeah,
Life's changed us a lot.
life has changed. Mr. Cox is watching. What's up, Mr. Cox? It is. He's saying super hard to be vulnerable. It is. It is for guys, because we have this uh, society that wants us to be a certain way. And that's another thing too, is like we've been talking about a lot of things throughout here. And you look at social media, and social media is the highlights. I think everybody posts their highlights. Nobody posts their lowlights. Not many people post their struggles or their challenges,
Some
especially
do all day long.
especially if it comes to your marriage.
Yeah. No.
You're not going to see anybody saying, it's just really hard between my wife and I right now. You know, of
Pray
course,
for us.
right. You don't see that. And maybe we need to see more of that, not that you have to air your dirty laundry and share all your deepest, darkest secrets, but
Because don't.
yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with asking people to pray for you. Uh,
Yeah, I just, and men are, say what you will, it's right, it's wrong, but men are built to feel like they have to be the provider, be the strong one, be the, um, you know, be the one who makes sure everything goes well at home, even when it's hard, and um, and things aren't always easy, and we all know that, and for a man to let go and tell anybody that is tremendous, right? Like,
I mean, men are basically looked at to fix things,
yeah,
right? I mean, it's broken. The guy's got to fix
not
it.
always around the house.
Not for me. I call somebody for that, but um, like if there's something wrong, we have to fix it. And
Yeah.
I don't know if fixing it is the right word, right? I mean, if something is hard, something's going wrong. I mean, you don't just fix it.
No.
I think you weather the storm, you go through it together. And going back to the beginning, um, I feel that one of our greatest strengths is that we make each other better. You make me stronger. I help you be stronger. And when we do that and not have the power struggle of who's stronger, um, I mean, there's nothing, obviously, after last year, there's nothing that we can't get through. Knock on wood that nothing else comes our way.
No, enough of that.
Enough of that. All right. Well, guys, that was our theme today. I hope you enjoyed that. We were talking about what we've learned from other couples that we admire. And, I have to be honest, when we first started this is now our 7th episode. Before we ever started the first episode, it was when we did your podcast, which was the most viewed podcast on my channel ever. People were like, you guys need to just do a podcast together and talk about love and marriage. And listen, don't think that we have all the answers by any means. We're just a couple that have been through some shit and come out the other side, and we're still kicking. And if what we say or what we talk about helps you in any way, please just share it, maybe with someone else that might need to hear it. And we'd love to talk about more things that you want to hear about. So we've got every week coming up different themes and topics, but we're open to talking about what you guys want to hear about. So thank you guys for watching. Anything you want to add?
I think you got it.
All
Hi,
right.
Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Thanks,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Cox. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Maddie, Shania, everybody for watching today. We'll see you next week on the next episode of Keep the Flame Alive. Peace.
Peace.
Mwah.